Hey guys, this is Lindsay and I am back with kind of a unique review today. We are actually going to talk all about jump rope. Now we have a lot of jump ropes to get through. I'm going to make this intro super sweet, super quick. If you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure you are subscribed. We have a lot of content coming your way that you don't want to miss. Also, if you want to purchase any of these jump ropes that we talk about, we have placed a link below the like button, making it super easy for you to click. Use that link. When you do that, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does give us a small commission, and we greatly appreciate it when you use that link. So to start things off, not every jump rope is just great for everybody. I mean, it's the same idea with like treadmills. Some people have goals that are more sprinting, more incline, more walking, whatever the case may be. Your goals aren't going to necessarily line up with everybody else's goals. And even though you think like, okay, any jump rope could get me to my goals, I don't think that is necessarily the case. And we have a couple different categories of jump ropes that we're going to go through. So one, if you are looking to like improve your speed game, if you are looking to do like crossovers, dubs, triple unders, whatever the case may be, there are specific ropes that are going to help you in that movement. If you are somebody looking to create endurance, build your shoulders out, create wrist movement, there are drag ropes, there are heavy ropes that are suited more to those needs. Or if you are somebody who just wants a smart rope, there is even smart ropes. We are going to talk all about that. But first, we're going to start with the RPM. Okay, so the thing that I will say about this RPM, if you have not used a speed rope before, I would not jump to this. Like, I would not try and learn double unders on this rope. It is severely going to like whip the back of your legs. Like, it's inevitable. And I don't know if you have whipped yourself with a speed rope before, but like, it makes you want to just swear to the high heavens. Like, it's incredibly painful. So because of the dual axle rotation on this jump rope, it creates a lot of speed. So you can get going really quickly. Now, I am not proficient at double unders. I still really struggle. And while I was testing this out, I did give myself a couple of good welts using it. But that just shows you that the dual axle rotation really does a great job of creating speed while using this jump rope. The last thing I would say about this is that it has a well-oiled bushing system, which again, just creates a better rotation for the handle, for your cord as you are jumping. So if you are looking for a speed rope that is going to help you be even more proficient in terms of double unders or movements like that, I do think that the RPM is a good option. Last thing about this is not the most budget-friendly jump rope. You might be surprised to find out it is $65. However, if you are somebody who's going to use a jump rope a lot in your training, and again, you have those specific goals for crossovers, triple unders, double unders, or just a lot of speed work, I do think this is worth it. Next is the Rogue SR-2 3.0. I think that if you are somebody doing a lot of CrossFit workouts, this is probably the ideal jump rope. So first off, while you are holding the handles, this bottom part is knurled, then it goes into like a tapered bottom. But overall, while you are doing double unders or a lot of CrossFit workouts, you want to hold this bottom part of the rope. It's just going to create a lot more wrist flexion and be able to spin that rope around really quickly. So overall, I love that these are knurled handles. The handlebars are made out of aluminum. They are super lightweight while also having like a really nice balance to them as you hold them. This is actually the rope that I learned to do double unders on, and overall, I'm most comfortable on this rope. So if you are somebody wanting to learn that movement, I do think this would be a good option to choose. Now, not only are the handles knurled, they're aluminum, they're balanced, but it comes with a 2.4 millimeter cable. Now, one thing to watch out for is if you use this on concrete, this will kind of start to break apart and you'll be able to see the wiring underneath it. So I would make sure to use it on a gym surface, on turf, something like that. Try to avoid a lot of hard impact on concrete or other flooring like that. For $50, I think this is a great rope. I think it's gonna last you a long time. Again, as long as you take care of it, you're not like jumping a lot on concrete or other surfaces like that. If you are wanting to do a lot of CrossFit workouts, learn double unders, I think this is a good option. This is our option for the best weighted jump rope, and that is the Rogue Fitness Pro jump rope. Now, this is really unique because a lot of times with drag ropes, we see that the majority of the weight is in the actual cabling. However, with this jump rope, a lot of the weight is actually in the handlebars itself. The handlebars are 1 pound each, which might seem like 1 pound, no big deal, but like as you are holding this, as you are using this, it is actually really fatiguing. It's also completely made out of stainless steel. The other thing that I like about these handlebars is that it has like a soft knurling. This is not the most aggressive knurling on a jump rope handle. I do think that the Rogue Fitness SR-2 3.0 has a more aggressive knurling on the handlebar. However, this feels really nice in the hands. It is kind of crazy to me because apparently in 2016 at the CrossFit Games, athletes were doing double unders with this rope. Guys, I wouldn't even attempt to do a double under with this rope. I know that like Kate and maybe other testers and riders at GGR have done a double under with this rope, but it's like kind of scary. This feels really heavy. If you're somebody looking to add endurance or you're wanting a weighted rope, this hands down is my top pick for it. Another thing that I will say about the handlebars itself, like this is actually pretty thick. So it's actually a 25 millimeter diameter. To give you context, for a woman's bar, it's a 28.5 millimeter. So really, this is like quite large in terms of a handlebar, but it does feel really nice in the hand. Last thing about this, it is $129, so definitely on the pricier side. There's no way to really adjust the cabling on this, so you are gonna have to buy a different size. Rogue does offer different sizes that you can purchase. I do wish, like with the previous jump rope we talked about, that SR 3.0, there is a way to adjust the cabling so you can do a variety of heights. It isn't the case with this one. So if you are married or if you have a partner and like one is 5 foot, one is 6 foot, you are gonna have to buy two separate ropes because there's no way to adjust for the height. All right, so next is a smart rope. It is the Tangram Smart Jump Rope Rookie. This is kind of unique. I never really heard of a smart jump rope before, but if you want something that will track your jumps, your calories, your time elapsed, this can actually do that. It is battery powered, so all you need to do when you are going to change the battery is like pinch these sides. It runs off of a CR2032 battery, so it will last you a long time. Now, in terms of actually jumping with it, it was not my favorite. You're definitely not going to be able to do any sort of speed work or any sort of like double unders. I mean, maybe you possibly could, but it's really not made for that. This is really made for somebody who's wanting to just do a steady state cardio session with a jump rope. It's going to, again, track your calories, track your time elapsed, track the amount of jumps that you've taken in that amount of time. But in terms of any sort of like crossover work, any sort of like really athletic jump roping, I don't think this is going to be a good bet for you. All in all, this is under $40. I do think that is a decent price point, but probably more than I would personally spend for a jump rope like this. But another thing that you can do with this jump rope is they have 6 different color options on their website. So if you don't like the white, they have like pink and green and red and whatever else, you know, if you're like looking for a really aesthetic jump rope for some reason. Last thing about this, it can adjust to a variety of heights using kind of this like pull through system. So essentially all you're gonna do is thread that cable through this and then tighten it using this little plastic piece. It held in place really well. I didn't notice any sort of play in the cabling as I was jumping on it. So I do like that feature because, again, if you are 5 foot, your partner is 6 foot, you don't want to buy 2 jump ropes again at $40 a jump rope. This does offer the capability of a lot of people being able to use the same jump rope. Next is our pick for the best jump rope for kids, and that is the Rogue Fitness Licorice jump rope. I mean, look at how cute this thing is. Like, can you imagine? I actually tried to jump on this. I was able to, but I was like hunched over like this. It was so teeny tiny. It does come in a variety of heights, so if you are looking to buy this for your kid, make sure you measure them so that you get the appropriate height. Again, this is just like a jump rope, right? There's nothing special about it, but it is $7. So if you have a kid who is wanting to learn how to use a jump rope, practice that skill, I think that this is a good option. It's going to last you a long time, but overall, there's nothing fancy about it. As plastic handles the slide, it's threaded through a PVC cord. Overall, probably not the most durable if you're going to be using it on concrete a lot, but I think if your kid is like in your garage gym with you wanting to practice jump roping because they see you jump roping, this would be a really fun one to get. Incorporate your kid into fitness, and again, it's $7. Another thing that makes this really great for kids particularly, I don't know if you've ever given a kid a slinky before, but I don't know how they like tangle it up within the first 10 seconds, and I feel like that's kind of like children's MO. Like, let me see how quickly I can break this for you. But with this jump rope, it doesn't tangle easily. In fact, like it doesn't really tangle at all. You're really easily able to get any sort of knots out of the way. So you're not going to be spending all of your time untangling your child's jump rope instead of jump roping yourself. Okay, so this jump rope is what we have given the best jump rope for tall people. It is the SR-1 F11. Now, Rich Froning actually helped design this jump rope. If you know him, he won the CrossFit Games like multiple times. But this is actually the jump rope that I had in my garage before I started collecting jump ropes. This is one of the first ones I bought. And it is for one reason. Me and my husband are very different heights. I'm 5'4", he's 6'2". He'd like me to tell you that he's 6'3", but he's not, he's 6'2", so don't let him lie to you. Anyways, you can adjust the height on this super easy. Now, I will say one thing. It does use a very small screw that you have to tighten pretty quickly. I've experienced this. People online have also experienced this. If that does not get tightened very well, this will just essentially like fly off. So you want to make sure that you have that tightened really well, but overall, I have no complaints about this. I think this is great for a lot of people who have a family with different heights in their family who are all wanting to use the jump rope. A couple other things about this jump rope, it has plastic handles. Now, it does have almost this like fake knurling on it. I'm not a huge fan of it. It also has like this tapered edge. I don't totally love it. I do think there are better handlebars out there. However, one thing I do like is that it is, again, tapered right here. Where your thumb and your finger meet, it almost like creates a divot in it, and it's actually pretty comfortable. Overall, I wish that the knurling were a little bit better. I wish that this part was a little bit wider, because after using a jump rope with a wider handle, I feel like I actually prefer that, but that might just be my personal preference on it. Along with this little screw, you do have to have a small Phillips head screwdriver in order to loosen and tighten this function. Another thing about this is it actually uses polyurethane coating instead of nylon. There are a couple benefits to that. One, it is softer and flexible. The other thing that is a harder time coiling up over time. So if you are somebody who maybe wraps their jump rope, puts it in a bag, puts it in their gym rope, it's in and out of place a lot, there can be a tendency for that cord to coil. I don't think you're going to have a problem with this one. So if you are somebody who, again, is moving their jump rope from their garage gym to a CrossFit gym or whatever the case may be, maybe you travel, I do think this is a good option because it's not going to coil up over time. This jump rope only costs $30, so really you're not going to be making like a huge investment if you don't like it. And I think that you could easily sell this if you decide that you don't want this. Lots of people like this jump rope. Lots of people love Rogue jump ropes. Again, this is developed by Rich Froning. So overall, I mean, he probably put a lot of thought into this. Rogue puts a lot of thought into their jump ropes. I think this is a good jump rope. Okay, so if you are an athlete looking for a lot of endurance training, especially while using a jump rope, this is hands down my favorite one. I'm actually going to be taking this home once we finish filming and use it in my own training because I thoroughly enjoyed using it. This is the RX Smartgear drag rope. As you can see, this is a little different cord. It's actually a braided woven polypropylene rope. This is a really nice, it's 10 ounces, so not that heavy, but it creates a lot of wind resistance while using it. Now, while you are using this, there's no sort of like bushing, there's no sort of rotation system. It's essentially up to you, the user, and your wrist to create that spin as you're using it. It also makes a really cool sound while using it because it creates like that wind resistance. If you are, again, looking for a lot of endurance training while using this rope, I have to say this is super cool. The other thing I like about this, when you look at the handle, is that it's actually kind of like dived in. It's to create a better like holding place for your thumb and your pointer finger. It fits my hand really well, and I actually like that I feel super solid while using it. A lot of the times while using other ropes, especially if you're using a jump rope to do like dubs or things like that, you're more so going to hold on to like the edge of that handlebar, whereas this, you really want to pinch that tapered in part. I think it's going to help create a lot of mobility for your wrist in order to get that drag rope around really quickly. Now, I do think that you have the capability to use this for double unders if you are like an elite athlete. I tried it and I got one, which truthfully, I was like super proud of myself that I even got one double under using this. But if you are looking for a lot of endurance in your training, and you are just wanting to focus on, again, endurance, you don't really care about like the athletic, the gymnastic skills of doing crossovers or double unders, I for sure would choose this one. This is a $50 jump rope. Overall, I think this is a great price point. You're gonna see a lot of jump ropes that are a drag rope that are much more expensive than that, and then some that are cheaper that just don't have the quality of this like braided woven cord. I think that this rope will last you a long time. Again, as long as you're not dragging it on concrete a lot. during your training. Last thing about this, obviously there's no way to adjust the length of this braided cord, so there is an option on your website where you can choose the appropriate length of jump rope for you. Also, there is a chart to follow along with that will give you the appropriate length of jump rope to use in conjunction with your height, so I think that's incredibly helpful. Okay, if you just have like all of the money to spend, and I'm sure that that is all of us in this day and age, go ahead and check out this luxury jump rope. It is the RX Smartgear Evo G2. I don't know why that name kind of reminds me of Wally. This is a luxury jump rope. $150, guys. This is a $150 jump rope. That is insane to me. And truthfully, I think that they're just good of jump ropes at maybe $100, $80. But if you are really set on this brand, if you are really set on getting this jump rope, I mean, it is a quality jump rope. So the handlebars are made of an aerospace grade aluminum. And while you are holding them, they feel like incredibly balanced, incredibly lightweight. The other thing that I like about this is it has knurling in between these notches. It also has these rings around the handlebar, making for a better grip while using it. I have tested my hand in many places on this handlebar, and I felt like both places were comfortable. So like I was saying earlier, a lot of the times while you're using the jump rope for like dubs or gymnastics work, you're gonna wanna have your hand like lower down on this. This has provided a knurling for your fingers. If you want to go ahead and have your hand further up, again, it's created a knurling for your fingers to pinch. Overall, this is probably my favorite handlebar out of all of the ones that I've tested. I just don't know if I could spend $150. The other thing that you can do is really customize this jump rope. So you can go ahead and pick a 3.6 millimeter to a 1.3 millimeter handlebar. The other thing you can do is choose a variety of different ropes in terms of thickness, heaviness. It's all on their website, and so you can really customize exactly what you're looking for in a jump rope. The customizations continue with this jump rope. You can choose different colors and of course different lengths because there isn't a great way to change the length of this cable. You are gonna have to buy a second cable if you have a variety of heights of people using this jump rope, but to replace the cable, it's incredibly easy. All you're gonna do is basically use this key ring. This small holder on the cable is gonna go ahead and attach to that key ring. So you can interchange the cable as often or as little as you want, and it should take you less than like 2 minutes to do it. Next is our pick for the best budget-friendly jump rope. That is the DeGaulle ball bearing skipping rope. Guys, this is like a $7 jump rope. There is no like thrills about it. There's nothing like fancy about it. Again, it's $7 and truthfully, it feels like it. I haven't tested the longevity of this. We just got this in. I've only jumped with it for about 5 minutes, but overall it held up. But I would worry about this cabling holding up over time. Also, one thing I did notice as it was sitting down, as I have tested it from room to room, it did tend to coil a little bit. So overall, I didn't like that fact. If you want to go ahead and adjust the length of the rope, you can easily do that by this system. All you do is basically uncap this little part from the handlebar, adjust the rope that way. Super easy to use, so a lot of people in the house can use it. In terms of the handlebar, they are super lightweight and they are created with this like foaming around it. I actually don't like this foaming. When you start to get sweaty, it kind of pools in your hands and makes it almost like sticky. I didn't like that. But if you just need a jump rope to do basic single unders and you are on a budget, I really do think that this would be a good option. I don't think it's any worse or any better than other $7 jump ropes out there. I think you could get away with purchasing this and be happy. Thanks guys for sticking with me. That was a lot to go through. If you want to learn more information about each of these jump ropes, we do have a full article on GGR website going through even more details than I have explained on these jump ropes. Who knew that you could write like 20 pages on jump ropes? I didn't, but you can. And truthfully, it was really helpful to read through that. So check that out. This has been Lindsay. See you next time. Peace.